Hello YouTube, StartUpSurvival with another knife review. This time it's the Kershaw Zing stainless steel. This knife was not a purchase of mine, but rather a warranty replacement for a knife that I did buy from Kershaw. Last summer I bought the Kershaw Cryo and I carried it for a few weeks. Had kind of mixed feelings about it. I liked the design, I liked the way it looked, and the blade shape was cool, the assisted opening was nice, but the assisted opening broke after about a month of owning it. So it was my first time sending a knife back to a manufacturer and having it serviced or replaced. I filled out the form that they had on their website, and they were very helpful actually, but in the form I requested not to have the Cryo back to me again. I asked instead for it to be replaced with either a Skyline or a Kershaw Zing. At that time, I didn't even know that they made the Zing in stainless steel. I was expecting the orange handle version or the black handle maybe, with the cool rivets in the blade. If you've never seen this knife, you should definitely check it out. It's a very sweet looking knife, and it's a flipper design as well. The thumb studs, I believe, are different. They're sort of like half cut out, and some people say they don't like them, but I think they're cool. So I was expecting to get one of those back. Instead, I got the stainless steel model, which is manufactured in China, and it's another stainless steel frame lock, which I've had basically zero luck with. So I haven't carried this knife much. I've mainly just left it in the knife drawer, but I did pick it up a few days ago, and I took it out with me. When I got home, I flicked it open, and I noticed on the blade that there was a whole bunch of rust spots forming. And you can't see them very well on the camera, but I did put some photos there at the start of the review. So what can I really say about rust spots? They suck. I've never had a knife rust like this on me before. I've had a little bit of minor rusting when I left knives in the dish rack, and they maintained some kind of a contact with a wet surface, and I left them overnight, and there was just like a little bit of rust there. But this knife has never been washed. It's never even been used. It's just sat in the knife drawer basically since I got it. I've taken it out a few times, flicked it open, flicked it closed, put it back in the drawer. This was like the first time I carried it, and there's rust spots all over it. So I'm pretty pissed off, honestly, with the whole process. If you just follow the sequence of events, I bought a first knife, which broke on me. I wasn't overly happy with that knife. It looks cool, but the Cryo is very heavy actually for what it is. It's definitely not the best knife out there. So that knife broke, I sent it back, and I mean, it was good of the manufacturer to replace it and somewhat honor my wishes for a different knife in return. But this is not the knife that I wanted, and it's not performing well either. So I do like Kershaw. I have the Skyline, which I think is basically an amazing knife, but that's totally different blade materials. It's made in the US. I don't know if that makes a difference, but I'm starting to believe it does. But it's G10 and the Sandvik. I forget what the numbers are or whatever, but it's a different blade steel. And it's just a different knife altogether. And I really like the Skyline. I think it's an awesome knife. It's a perfect EDC. The Zing, by contrast, I'm just not happy with for obvious reasons. So let me just talk about what I do like about this knife, because there's some things I do like about it. I think it's cool how it opens so quickly. I do like the assisted opening knives, but I'm quickly learning not to trust them. I would much rather have something like a Delica, which I can open very fast. No springs to break in there, nice and reliable, nice and light, good materials. But every once in a while it's cool to have sort of a novelty knife, something that you can play with a bit or whatever. So I guess it's good for that. It could be good for EDC. It's certainly small enough to fill that role well. It's not overly heavy, but it does feel heavy for what it is, because it is that stainless steel. You can feel a difference in the materials. So I tend to stay away from stainless steel handles just because I don't like heavy knives really, especially not small heavy knives, which the Cryo was as well. Something that I do like about this knife though is that I'm very bad with thumb studs. I don't like them. I prefer the spider hole or the flipper or something like that. But on this knife I can I didn't do it very well there, but I can open the knife with the thumb studs. So that's something that I kind of like about this knife, and it definitely doesn't happen very often for me that I can do it that well. What else? The blade shape, I guess it's sort of a hollow grind, or perhaps it's not a full flat grind, definitely. It's got a nice acute tip on it, so I guess it would be good for piercing. I imagine this would fill the role of most EDC tasks fairly well. The handle, like I said, stainless steel, don't like it. No traction plan on it. There's no jimping really. There is this finger choil, I suppose, that it does lock into the hand. It's not really a bad knife. I can't really say that I hate it, but there's just features about it that it's not the knife for me. So pocket clip. I don't like the pocket clip either. Surprise, surprise. It's this kind of funky, sweeping wave with these weird holes in it. I don't know. There's no reason functionally that I don't like it. It's a strong clip. It's never like fallen out of my pants or anything, but I prefer the Spyderco clip, just like that sort of traditional shape, nice and clean, no funny stuff going on, and I would definitely go for a clip like that over this kind of screwy looking one that's on the Kershaw. So overall, what can I say? I'm not very happy with the knife. I'm not very happy with Kershaw at the moment. I do really like the company. I think that they offer really high value knives at a very reasonable price point, but the whole process has kind of pissed me off, honestly. First, I went on a limb. I bought the Cryo. That knife got screwed up. I sent it back, and they sent me a knife that I didn't like that's equally screwed up in a different way. The rust spots all over it. It doesn't affect the functionality of the knife, but that shouldn't be happening. That's just a bad choice of materials. So, what can I say? Stay away from this knife. There's a lot of better options out there. I think this knife is around $30, $35, something like that, so you can't really complain that much for the price point, but I would much rather have a Tenacious or something along those lines. Even a Skyline, in some places people say they can get it for $30-something, and if they can, go for it. I paid closer to $50 for mine. In Canada, we just pay more for pretty much everything. Kershaw is a good company, but this knife sucks. Stay away from it. Thanks for watching.